Hello everyone, and welcome to your January 2019 Tarotscopes. Of course, I've missed December 2018, but it has been a very busy time, so I do apologize, and I hope you are enjoying catching up with what's going on with 2019. Now, do remember to check out my events calendar on my Carolyn Clairvoyant website. As you will find, I have quite an extensive year of travel around, and I'm going to be in lots of places all at once, so it would be wonderful to be able to catch up, do a one-on-one reading or a group booking. I thank you so much for your wonderful patronage over the years, and I look forward to connecting with you more and more as we move through 2019. Cosmic hugs, everybody. Hello Cancer. Okay, let's take a look at what does January 2019 have in store for you. Okay, just one more bit of a shuffle. These ones don't want to go down. That one wants to come out. I didn't want to go in either. Yeah, here we go. One more. So we're going to pop these to one side. We're going to take a look at what does January 2019 hold for you. Here we go. So we're going to talk about the home and the family, where you are within yourself right now, your career goals and aspirations, or the things that are important to you. We'll also be looking at your finances, health and well-being, and of course your relationship dynamics, and then we'll read the rest of the cards sitting over here. So the first thing that you do have around you in connection with the home and the family, this really is going to be about the Hierophant in reverse, which is talking about adjustments, being able to accept that there are going to be changes. No matter which way you look at it, life for you is evolving around changes for this year, and therefore January is all about adaptations and new accommodations and accepting that these changes are going to be different to what you normally been used to. And this could mean a relocation. It could be that you are changing the dynamics of the home, such as a renovation, making a move. Sometimes you can feel that this is not something that you are planning towards, but it needs to happen. It's a necessity. So therefore Spirit is showing you here, the more flexible you are, the more accommodating you are, the better it's going to feel for you. And it is going to be one of those times in which you are not going to be feeling that this is the right thing, and then there's other times you're going to see that it is going to be one that it can be a lot better for you once you accept it. Okay, your career goals and aspirations. What I do have here is that we are looking at areas connected to your financial agreement areas. The conflict of interest is sitting here, Three of Swords, and Three of Swords tends to say here, well listen, you've had a few issues that can be affecting your career goals and aspirations. You're going to need to wait for the storm clouds to kind of settle before you're able to come out of this and make a decision that is going to be very decisive and very final. So you're going to go through a period of time of weighing up the pros and cons. You're going to see that it is not going to be an easy decision, but once it is reached, it could turn out to be a lot more successful for you. So the more that you accommodate, the better it's going to be. This is about agreements, financial agreements. There are areas that you have been wanting to make change but have not been able to put those into place. Maybe others are not working on the same level as you are, and this is where the conflict can be. You're ready for something to happen and it's not eventuating, and this could have been the last 3 months you've been looking around this, but it can also mean that it happens right up until about the time of the month of March. So you might start the planning and the goals, and you might have the ambition and the anticipation, but it's going to take a little bit longer for everything to materialize. And in your current work position or in your current environment, you're feeling conflicted. You're feeling one minute everything is is being stitched up and mended and it's okay, it's going to be all right. As soon as you start getting comfortable, guess what happens? Something comes along and reminds you, no, the whole reason that this change is taking place is because it's needed to take place. So don't get too comfortable. You have something better on the horizon if you're willing to be open to it. Now on the financial fronts, we've got the Nine of Cups in reverse, and the Nine of Cups shows new money coming, but it's an unexpected source, or new opportunities arriving through areas in which you had not conceived or preconceived areas. So this shows here, remember I talked about the adjustments. You may be finding that a lot of the energy that you have put in over the past 3 or 4 months has a lot to do with your financial plannings right now, but we've got here, it's all in the infancy, it's all in the early stages. It's going to turn out better than what you perceive, but at the moment, you know, those talks and communications or those adaptations that you are making are going to be more beneficial as you get on in the next coming 9 weeks. So it's not about counting the chickens before they hatch, but about being able to see yourself in a better position financially or even emotionally once everything is set in stone. And at the moment it's not. Like I can see here, you've still got adjustments around the home. You're feeling conflicted about what you need to be doing this year, and part of you is still kind of dealing with all of these little areas that are needing your attention. So Spirit's saying you're coming into a point where you're feeling a little bit like it's all premature. I can't make a choice. It's in the early stages. I don't know where I'm really heading with this, but at the moment I just need to go with the flow because it's just creating a drama. I don't know what to start, what not to start, how to go about it. So Spirit's just saying here, listen, you've got time, you've got energy, just wait it out. Now your health and betterment. Now we've got Mars sitting here, which usually rules Aries. This is the first house of the head or the self and the self-image. And you may be finding, because you've got change sitting in here, which is known as tarot in the traditional cards, in my cards it's known as change, that you've got some very impulsive things happening around the body. And these could be quite quick, such as heightened blood pressure. You might need to watch your eyes in and around your head area, your thinking, your sleeping. Be very cautious of what you are doing, in which you are rushing in impulsively and making change and not realizing that it could have an impact. There could be something more coming back here, because this deals with heat and fire and uproar. You could be finding infections are a little bit more prevalent, okay? Or you could be finding yourself getting into heated arguments and feeling conflicted because you're trying to do the best you can, but there's nothing more you can do. Someone's acting like a child. Even you could be acting like a child. So Spirit is indicating here that this is about being able to move through areas that need to be dealt with, but not to be making impulsive or rushed decisions. The other part of this is that if there is some emotional conflict and it's been around the chest area, that there could be some rushed decisions that need to be made because of blood pressure or heart areas, okay? But this would have been something that you would have known about at an earlier stage, so it's not something that's just going to be surprised upon you. Lots of change coming, lots of challenges. This will affect the image of who you are, so you may be finding yourself really questioning situations around you. Where do I belong? Am I on the right pathway? What should I be doing? I've invested all this time and energy into my home and family or that environment, and now I'm up against an area in which I'm feeling quite foreign or outside my comfort zone. And Spirit says, give it time. It'll take time for the dust to settle, and once it does, in a much better position. But right now it's all about just going with the flow. Like I said, it's going to be a very long next 9 weeks, but January is really about adaptation and change. So you come up into the time where the relationships are concerned, and we've got the Knight of Swords in reverse. Now the Knight of Swords in reverse often tells you that you have a few areas in which you are going to need to consider your own opinions. There's going to be a lot of opinions flying around to do with your personal life, and it comes down to what works best for you. Remember, I said here that you're going through this stage of feeling as though you are in a time of transition or adjustment, but it's only early, and you don't want anything else kind of creating even more dramas around your personal or your personal life or around your own confidence. So Spirit is showing here that this is a time in which you are able to really look at this and see it from a different perspective. Yes, you are quite sensitive. You're wondering what other people are thinking. You're wondering what they're going to be doing. You're wondering how they see you or perceive you. Remember, I talked about the self-image. But this is all about the fact that maybe you need to just step back for a little while and let things manifest and let things happen. There's not much more you can do about the situation or circumstance. All you can do is just go with the flow. Once everything is settled, once you feel like, the smoke screen has lifted, because I just feel like this month is really bombarding you quite a lot. But you've got this strong time of opinion sitting around where you're really concerned about what you're doing, how you should be doing, and what others have this expectation from you. And this is going to really put a very big pressure on your relationships and friendships and family and so forth dynamics, especially around your health. Okay, so here we go. Your cards that fell out were the Two of Cups in reverse, the Justice in reverse, the Temperance in reverse, the Ten of Swords, and the Queen of Pentacles in reverse. Now, all of these come down to here, unfavorable situations that have led to something that has been neglected. And this may lead to a lot of complications or problems that you had not foreseen, especially if it's to do with legalities or legal matters, or even to do with areas to do with your finances, things that you would have put away quite sooner. Maybe there was a health insurance that you didn't understand. There was another clause too, or there is an insurance that has a little bit more complications than what you thought. So there's something going on behind the scenes which is creating a few dramas. You're going to have to go back and really source this out. If it's to do with marriage and commitments, it could have a lot to do with joint funds and so forth, or superannuations if it's to do with infancy, because it would have been something that would have been cultivating for some time. So this is where Spirit is showing you, look, something's been neglected here. You don't really know a lot about it, but it's putting pressure on you because you're going to have to sort this out. You can't let circumstances go the way that they have. And this disarray is something that you don't want to talk about because, being a Cancerian, you'll try and avoid situations, but at the same token, you're not completely happy. So Spirit's showing here, you're going to need to make adjustments, clear things out. The best you do this, even though you might be feeling a little bit conflicted, the more that it's going to take the pressure off you because you're under pressure to make a change. You don't feel things are conducive at the moment because you're going through this sense of feeling everything's being pushed. And Spirit says here, yes, but you're not in the best position at the moment anyway. So what's wrong with clearing up what needs to be tidied? And you're going, yes, but I don't really know what's happening because I haven't really been kept in the loop. And Spirit says, yes, but this is where you need to make the decision to be able to put yourself forward and to be able to find those answers rather than relying on someone else. Because if you do, you could be finding there's been an incompatibility, something's been missed, and that's going to put additional pressure on you when it comes to needing the support that you want. So this is a chance to go back and to have a look at what needs to be done and to how to rectify and fix situations, because Spirit says you don't want this conflict of interest coming down over financial agreements that are still trying to be worked. You don't want this coming down over your betterment and your well-being, and you definitely don't want it coming down over what you feel others have an expectation of you to be able to do and to be able to achieve. There's areas that you have needed to go back, really look at. There has been a neglect here. You need to fix this, and by fixing this, you'll be able to take the pressure off the situations around you. I thank you so much for your wonderful connection, and I hope that you have enjoyed your reading for the time of January 2019.